everyone, thanks for joining us today. My name is Juliette and I will be your host. Please note that we cannot hear you as you are all on mute. If you have any questions during the presentation, you can use the chat window, which is on the right-hand side of your screen. And once the webinar is completed, we will address any questions during an open Q&A session. Okay, let's begin with an introduction of today's speakers. Oliver, would you like to start?
Hi, thank you very much, Juliette. So welcome everybody. And yes, so today I'm glad to present this webinar with Jeff. So my name is Olivier Renaud. I'm a Microsoft specialist and pre-sales manager at GSX.
Hello everybody. So my name is Jean-François Pieux. You can call me Jeff, and I'm product manager at GSX Solutions. So let's start with a quick agenda of this webinar. First, we won't present the Office 365 Admin Center, as most of you should know it by now. But we will first highlight some of the challenges you will face when it comes to managing large number of users. Then we will see how you can, with GSX Solutions, easily face these challenges, increasing drastically your ROI, optimizing your TCO, limiting management risk. It's really the main purpose of this presentation. And finally, really quick at the end, you will see that GSX offers a complete solution for Office 365 management, including monitoring and reporting of your cloud usage. So let's go in this webinar, and let's talk first quickly about the Office 365 Admin Center. The Admin Center has its qualities and flaws, and I would say that it's a good admin portal, but really for companies that are under 100 users. Challenges start to raise after, and we have customers that have more than 100,000 users on Office 365. So at that point, challenges become really nightmares for the administrator team. So what could be drastically improved in that portal? The first thing is that the philosophy itself of the portal is clearly oriented to small companies, so really not for big ones. There's no way to apply action to multiple users at the same time. There's no way to delegate access in order to provide useful and secure limited rights to a help desk team, for example. Nothing is tracked on the portal. It means that it's very difficult to know for you who has done what, who has made any changes in that. We can also notice that the tool requires extensive PowerShell skills. And even if some administrators have these skills, and you may have these skills, it will be still complicated to have any help desk team managing and having PowerShell administrative skills. So finally, it is obvious that the Admin Center is really not designed to help you optimize the money that you are spending at Microsoft Office 365, and we can understand why. So let's see now, again quickly, how this limitation can create challenges in the administration of large number of users and licenses. As we say, the first serious problem is to take actions on large number of users. And we will show you in the tool how with GSX you can do that. In the Admin Center, every action involving user has to be made user per user. That makes a very long and painful process. What is okay to manage 50 users become, as you can imagine, really complicated when you have thousands of them. Distribution list, permission, user access, or security group, for example, can take you hours of low-value work that has to be done by costly experts. So in the same way, applying strategy on a massive number of users is just unmanageable and involves high risk of critical error, as well as high management costs. The second point is the management of licenses. First, taking action on large number of users can be extremely long and painful. It also necessarily leads to critical error because there's a lot of manual work that is involved as soon as you have a lot of users. So on top of that, there is no way to simply see what is used, how, with which plan, and what is left over. So it's extremely complex again to optimize your licenses utilization and the money you spend at Microsoft Office 365. And finally, the absence of delegation and tracking of the actions make the Admin Center impossible to give to a help desk team. It is way too critical and risky for a large company, especially if you have no changes tracking. So it means that it's hardly possible to organize an efficient help desk that will have enough information to help users, but not enough rights to jeopardize the production environment. Not being able to organize an efficient help desk involve, again, high management costs, as you need to have all the action made by Office 365 and PowerShell experts. And finally, to conclude that slide, if you are a managed service provider with multiple customers and multiple tenants to manage, you already know that the admin center is really not made for multi-tenant administration. And that also means a lot of extra time and, of course, a lot of extra costs to manage your clients. So right before going to the tool, I just want to say a word about our customer on this product. Our customer can be divided in more or less 4 large categories. The first one is composed of large organizations that already adopted the cloud services. It can be banks, retail, or manufacturing industries. They often have multiple subsidiaries, meaning multiple tenants to manage and large number of users. The second category of customer is, of course, the managed service provider, and we just talked about that. The third one is composed of fast-growing companies. They have to constantly onboard and apply strategy to new employees, meaning a lot of manual work, meaning a lot of risk, and meaning a lot of cost. And of course, the last category is companies that have grown with merging and acquisition. Same thing here, they have multiple different tenants, and so it involves a lot of time to manage, a lot of costs, and a lot of experts to be able to manage all the different users in all the different tenants. All these customers had the same challenges with Office 365, and that's why we made that product. It's really for them to be able to easily manage their large and complex environment in a very efficient way. They save, thanks to the product, hours of low-level work and prevent major manual errors. So now that the introduction is made and now that we have seen the different challenges coming with Office 365 Admin Center, let's go into the product and let's show you how now, thanks to JSX, you can really optimize the way, save costs on your Office 365 administration. So Oliver, can you now explain and show us the differences between our tool and the Admin Center?
Of course. Thank you, Jeff, for this introduction and explanation of the problematic. So yes, I'm going to show you in 4 main categories. Basically, some specific challenges within the portal. We'll see very quickly into the Office 365 portal how it's done. And then, of course, I will show you within GSX 365 Enterprise Management product how it's done and what are the benefits that will help you to save a lot of costs associated with the administration of Office 365. So first thing is really the license management and onboarding new user, assigning these licenses. So the portal has never really been optimized for user management. So there's no automation possible, which makes things really difficult and long and painful for admins. Even the onboarding process is not really optimized. There's a lot of risk of error because of these manual processes, and it's quite complex. So let's go check into the portal. And really quickly, so most of you are familiar with that portal. You all know the more than 20 items in that menu. So first thing, when you need to check for your different licenses, you need to go under billing and licenses. So it's a quick sum up of what you do have in terms of licenses and service plans. You can know quick numbers, but it's really hard to know who is part of which plan, who is left over, and really understand what's up with the different users and licenses. So then for the users, if you go under users and active users, you can see the list of all your different users. So in order to add multiple users in bulk, you can, of course, import a CSV, quickly choose a sample, go through these steps. The errors, so it will give you some hints, but not detailed errors about your CSV file. And then you can choose basic settings, so location, status, and the licenses. Once you do that, so a lot of screens that you have to go through, you can eventually perform these actions and you have your users onboarded. But that's all you have. Then there's all the customization, like managing the different permissions, the delegations, the distribution groups. So that's some extra work that you need to do right after. So let's check within the GSX 365 Enterprise Management portal. So you can see the portal right now. It's much simpler. You have categories for what you need to do, everything you can see at a glance. So first thing I'd like to show you is, of course, you can do the same thing. You can import a CSV file in here, choose your CSV. And at this point, that's all you need to do. You will import, we'll do all the rest for you. If there's any issues in your CSV, not only we will give you detailed error, but also we will actually fix the CSV for you that you can download and use. So once that you have added your new users, you can actually have some rules automatically applied. So that's a feature that we call OU hierarchy that allows you to mirror your internal organizational units. So basically, I can say, okay, anybody that's part of the IT department, once they are added into my system, I want to be able to assign them specific roles. So for example, I want to provide them with an E5 service plan. I want to be able to access all over their calendar. I want to make sure that they have the right login email address domain. Of course, I want to add them all to the IT distribution group. So right after I added these users, they are automatically applied all these rules, so I don't have to perform them manually. So it really saves you a great deal of time. And we'll show right after how you can actually perform any manual action in bulk as well. So really, really nice feature. The other thing about licenses is that you need to be able to quickly identify who is assigned to what kind of licenses. So if we go here in Cloud Services, you can see your different plans, see how they're being used, and you can also check who is part of which group, which really makes things easier. And if you need to assign or reassign licenses, you can easily see who is part of which group, who doesn't have any license. It's a really easy way to do. I mean, that's really like it should have been done in the first place. So you can easily see who's part of E3, E5, assign some specific users in these groups. So really easy to work with that. So really quick onboarding process. The other thing, in order to better understand the different licenses that you own and make sure that you optimize your management, we have some built-in reports within the tools. So things like licenses summary that you can use, or even some usage reports to some extent that will give you the ability to better understand. And whether you're managing just your own tenant, or if you're an MSP managing multiple clients, you can see them all on this graph and have really the information that you need, and then actually perform the changes that you want to do directly from this tool. So what we've seen is that there are some challenges. It's really, there are different risks that are associated in the portal that will provide you with additional costs. It's not really secure. It can cause some incidents that, of course, you would like to prevent. And thanks to 365 Enterprise Management, we give you some comprehensive reports. We allow you to do a lot of onboarding, offboarding, managing all your licenses, and all of these features are in a single dashboard. So thanks to that, you can know instantly what you use and don't use. You can easily manage a large number of licenses in just one click. You can prevent manual errors and really reduce all these processes. And therefore, in the end, you can maximize your Office 365 ROI. So the next topic I'd like to discuss is how to manage these large number of users. Once you have onboarded all your users, you have your day-to-day activities, and there's a lot of things that require that you take actions on your end users in terms of permissions, in terms of information. And again, the portal has not really been designed for bulk actions. It's more a user per user action. But when you deal with hundreds or thousands of users, you really need something to be able to make bulk actions. And in the portal, it's not really possible to have group actions, which again will cause much longer times to proceed, higher costs, and it's not a secure way that it can really lead to a lot of incidents. So let's check in the portal again. So when you manage your different users, you can search for a user. So let's search for my user, for example. I can double click on it, and so here, to some extent, you can manage some of the permissions. So you also have to wait a little bit. So let's go. So mailbox permissions, for example, you can manage things like send on behalf or the reads and manage email mailbox. But then if you need to do more, you not only it's complex, but you need to go somewhere else. So, for example, edit Exchange properties will bring me to the Exchange admin center, and here I can make additional actions. The other thing is when managing distribution groups, well, actually you need to do that directly within the Exchange admin group, and that's not really efficient. So recipients, then groups, and here I can manage everything. And things like calendar delegation, you can even perform that in the portal. You actually need to use PowerShell to be able to make these changes. So let's check in 365 Enterprise Management how you can do that. So things like calendar permission, mailbox delegation, you can do that directly out of the portal. So let's, for example, check my user. I can double-click on it, get all the different information that I need, and you can quickly see here I can do anything about calendar permission and delegation. So really just out of a click, I can assign different permissions and delegation of the calendar quite easily. The other thing that you want to be able to do is not only you want to be able to perform that easily on one user, but you want to be able to do that on a group of users. So that's a feature that we call SuperClick that allow you to perform massive actions on a group of users. So for example, if I want to change all my login email domain at once, I can do that. I can select it. Then all these users, I want to be able to review their calendar, and maybe I want to add them to the distribution group marketing. I can do that. And see all these actions listed on the right, I can apply that, and they will be all performed immediately. So really nice feature that will save you a lot of time. So again, we've seen you can really ease your user access management, permission, the distribution list, so you can do everything that you need within that portal. You can then stop doing all the micromanagement. You can set up these rules. We even seen that you can automate them at the OU level. So this will really save you thousands of hours of useless management actions and therefore prevent manual errors and save you a lot of cost on the operation of your Office 365 tenant. So the second thing is that a common problematic we have heard from our clients is that you need to be able to enable your help desk to answer simple user requests like checking user information, resetting passwords, assigning permissions, these type of actions. And unfortunately, a lot of these actions, they require PowerShell skills. You need to be able to provide a centralized dashboard in order to perform these actions. And again, the portal has not really been designed to be a help desk tool, and it's hard to delegate or to provide partial access. So you often end up providing full permissions. So let's go back in the portal. Again, let's go back to the different users, and let's say that I want to provide Olivier with some specific roles. So I can go into roles, and here you don't have a lot of options. Basically, either you're a global admin or you're a limited admin. If it ends up loading, and so for those of you that are familiar, whenever you go within the limited admin access, you can not choose a lot actually. You can only choose between setting password, being an Exchange admin, and that's about it. So it's hard to just keep assign permissions to a subset of users. So then let's go back into the product. So in 365 EM, there's the setting window where you can manage all of your different users. And here, so let's say we want to create a new user. We want to add John Doe, that's part of my help desk department. And what's great is that if you have multiple tenants, you can easily which one you want this user to be able to modify, and you can control each of the actions that they will be able to make. So I don't want them to activate or deactivate any customer. I want him to only work with onboarded users. I don't want him to change the OU rules that I have set up, and that's about it. So now I can just click done, and this user will have everything that he needs. On top of that, we have the entire interface that is translated into 14 languages. So if that user wants to use his own language, you can set up the interface for him in a specific language, and everything will be done like that. So really great if you need to delegate to another team in another country or to your help desk department. So really easy. Another thing is that when a user calls the help desk department, so for example, let's say Christian Quinn is calling the help desk department is to be able to quickly look up the information. And by double-clicking on that user, you can instantly see some properties of that user, the license plan that's assigned, email, send as permission, if there are any aliases, all the distribution groups or part that this user is part of. You can even see the quotas and then check the permissions for this user. So really, really easy to do anything. If you need to reset the password, you can do that in a click, so really easy. Last thing is if you need sometimes to call Microsoft for support or you have any issues, there's some specific information that you need to have at hand, and we gather all this information. If you're an MSP, you can find this for each of your clients, or if you're a multi-tenant organization, you can see that for each of your tenants. So again, really you can see that the aim of the tool is really to help you and ease any of the operations that you need to do and save you as much time as possible. So especially as we've seen, you can easily delegate all the actions, and no need anymore to provide some PowerShell scripts to your help desk to provide some of these calendar accesses. You can do bulk actions as well, and you really control what they do. So they don't need to be experts. They can easily manage end-user calls. You can now delegate easily non-value-added tasks with confidence because you can provide these restricted access that you keep control of. And this will save, again, thousands of hours in end-user compliance and management. So last thing is, in order to be able to delegate that access to one or multiple members, you need to be able to track the changes that happen in your configuration. And as much as I would love to show you that in the portal, well, it's just impossible. There's no auditing that's made. You don't know who did what, when. So when somebody took a wrong action because you couldn't even control the permissions they had, it can have terrible impact, and you don't know when, who did that, and what they did. So again, this is really not secure. It can create a lot of incidents. I know some of you have learned that the hard way, and again, this is going to cause some additional cost that you would, I'm sure, would like to prevent. So let's check into the portal. So we have two places where you can review everything that happened. The transactions tab will list everything that happened, who made that change, and what was changed. And we'll also have a report that will give you a more graphical representation about who did what in terms of actions and when that was done. So you can really see who made what change and when. And I mean, this is really the last thing they need, the additional thing you need in order to enable your help desk, because you need to be able to track these changes so that you can keep control, you can review all the transactions that were performed, and that will allow you to be more confident about delegating these tasks, reduce the risk, and therefore you can get more done yourself. So I hope I gave you some good insights about the product. Jeff, I'll wait.
Yeah.
Give it to you?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Olivier, for this exciting comparison between the admin center and, of course, our enterprise management solution. So I just want to sum up the benefits that we have just seen during that presentation. The Office 365 Admin Center is obviously a great tool for small business, but as you have seen, it's not really adapted to the needs of large enterprises. As for new technology, there's always a phase of rationalization and optimization of usage that comes after an initial deployment project. Office 365 is maybe still a new architecture for a lot of companies, but a lot of you, I guess, has already deployed it. So even if you deploy it now, or even if you think about deploying it, you should think about run and maintenance costs, about team organization, about help desk enablement, about optimization of usage and cost. And this is really what JSX Office 365 Enterprise Management is about, and I hope that you have seen that during this webinar. It is really the tool that push Office 365 in the real world of large organizations by maximizing the licenses ROI, reducing operational costs, and enabling help desk team to take action and track down these actions in terms of administration. So now I'm sure that besides maybe other questions, and we will see your question right after, but the first one that you certainly have is how can I try it? So the answer is pretty simple. You just have to sign up for the trial. Again, it's a SaaS solution, so it's really quick and really easy to try. You have nothing to install, of course. You just have to go on the website, go on our Office 365 Enterprise Management Solution pages, and register for a month trial. So finally, for those who didn't attend to the last webinar, I just want to position this product in our global offering. We provide enterprise management for Office 365 licenses and Exchange Online user, because in terms of pure user management, Exchange was really the high priority, as a lot of customers already are on Exchange Online. In terms of usage and reporting, JSX Office 365 usage reporting is available for every service delivered by Microsoft Cloud. So Skype for Business Online, OneDrive, SharePoint Online, Exchange Online, you can have detailed reports on how it's used, from an end user perspective, from security perspective, a lot of different reports, and I really invite you to go see our webinar that you just can access on the internet. Finally, we are of course providing monitoring for Office 365 end user experience. Once again, Exchange was our first priority, and we are now developing the same monitoring solution for the rest of the Microsoft offering. So Skype for Business Online monitoring, SharePoint and OneDrive monitoring should be also ready before the end of the summer. We also provide services around Office 365 migration. The purpose of these services is really to help our clients to guarantee the end user performance during and after the migration. So if you have a migration project with high sensitive users, or if you want to make sure that the service delivered to end user won't be impacted by the migration, you should also contact us and we can present you our service offering. And now, right before finishing and going to the QA, I am letting Oliver finishing this webinar by explaining you what the JSX DNA is.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. So yeah, just quick word about when you go with one of our products, you don't only benefit from using that product, but you really benefit from our expertise. So for example, we have now a large-scale center, part of GSX. We're members of the Microsoft staff, so we test everything in advance. We have a lot of certified experts in Exchange and Office 365. So a lot of different experts and skills that we can share with you. All the tools that we have, I mean, we've been doing monitoring and reporting for 20 years now in the different environments. So we're really able to help you out, making sure about these end user satisfaction and reducing your total cost of ownership of these different products. We have a lot of references that we can discuss with you. We have around 600 customers in 40 different countries, a lot of verticals, as Jeff explained. And I mean, our team will be always here for you. We have support that is full distance support basically in all the different regions. We have offices throughout the world. And again, if you would like to move forward, if you have any question, would like a specific demo, please make sure to contact us, and we'll be glad to discuss with you, understand your needs, and explain how we can help you to provide you with the tool to save you time and cost. So if you have any questions,
Juliet,
to put them in the chat window. I'll let Juliet control that.
Thank you both for this presentation. We received a few questions on the chat window. There's a bunch of questions regarding the rights that are required to use the tool. As an example, do you need to be an Office 365 administrator in order to manipulate the accounts via the tool?
Okay, good question. So I'll take that one. So basically, the only time that you need a global admin account is when you need to onboard your tenants within the platform. So we will use those credentials, we will synchronize all the different users, license, attributes, and we will encrypt these credentials in our database using AES 256. So once that you've done that, as I've shown, you can provide accounts or you can control the different members that will use the platform and control exactly what needs they have. So they don't need anything specific within Office 365. You only need to assign what you want them to have within our tool.
Thank you very much. Next question is about, is the data secured, and where and how do you store the data?
Yes, so of course the data is very secure. We take that very seriously. We have a lot of large organization that really needs to be properly secured. So all the information is stored on Azure, and it's based on your geographic location. So US companies will be based in the US, European in Europe, and so on. And again, as I mentioned, the credentials, for example, or anything sensitive is encrypted in the database. So really secure and stored where it should be, close to you.
Thank you very much. Is there a demo online that includes a larger number of objects to show performance with 100 and 1,000 objects in the portal?
So I can take this one. So basically, as it's a SaaS solution, you can do the demo online yourself very easily. Basically, just register. There's nothing to download. You just register. The process of onboarding should take like maybe 15 minutes for 100 and 1,000 objects, and then you can use it. It will not impact anything on your infrastructure or anything on your Exchange, on your Office 365. So if you want to demo with 100 and 1,000 objects, I would really recommend just sign up, and you will see the great performance that we have. It doesn't cost you anything. It has no impact, and you will have immediately the benefit and results of the product.
Good, thanks. Can I manage anything around Skype for Business and SharePoint?
So good question. So really today it's just the licenses that you'll be able to manage for the other product besides Exchange. We really focused on Exchange first in order to provide you with intensive administrative features to represent what you can do there. We'll probably add in the subsequent releases some specific things for SharePoint, Skype for Business, or the other platforms besides Exchange.
All right, thank you. Next one, can I one-time assign or unassign a bunch of privilege and license tip to a bunch of users?
So if I understand well the question, I guess like, for example, reassigning licenses or removing service plans for users. So the answer is yes. You can easily perform some bulk actions. And you can easily manage what licenses are applied and what permissions they have. So this should be part of it. So I hope this answers the question.
Thank you very much, Oliver. There's one last question. It's still time for you to ask a few in the chat window. Is there a report to have for the audit trail? As we make change in a client environment, sometimes they have compliance reporting that is required.
So yes, there are multiple reports. I didn't show them all. So if that concerns all the changes within the tool and the different transactions, yes, we have the report that I showed, and you'll be able soon to export that report if you need to. And then we have additional reports that we use using PowerShell or REST APIs directly from Office 365. So you can explore the reports tab, or if you'd like a demo, we can walk you through the different reports that we have.
Excellent.
Hope that
Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for attending today's webinar. An evaluation is about to show up in your browser, so can you please take a moment to provide us with your feedback? That's important for us. And we thank you very much for your attendance today and wish you a great day.
Yeah, and I will just finish by, if you have other questions, please, you can send us a question at sales@gsx.com, no problem. We will answer you directly to all of the other questions. And of course, the best way to answer your question is just to sign up, and you will see that the tool is really great and will really help you. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.